Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special Pro Soccer Talk Live, a watch-along for the massive Poland against Argentina game in Group C. The finale is here. Myself, Joe Prince-Wright, here in England from Pro Soccer Talk. Delighted to say, as always, I'm joined by Nick Mendola in Buffalo, New York, and Andy Edwards in Kansas City. Gentlemen, pleasure as always. We've got a big day coming up in Group C. Of course, we've got one eye on Mexico against Saudi Arabia as well to see if Al-Tree can pull off a big win and then hope for help to try and get through to the last 16. So have you covered with all of this Group C madness. Nick Mendola, coming to you, my friend. What are you expecting from Lionel Messi today? Can he save Argentina one more time and have them in the last 16?
I don't know. Will there be penalties? I'm kidding. I think he very much can. I'm looking forward to watching this. I basically think the odds say that the rest of Argentina has a better chance of delivering just because it's been mostly Messi with a little side of Enzo Fernandez so far.
Yeah, that's right, isn't it, Andy? He's had a supporting cast, Messi, so he hasn't done it all on his own, but much better in the second half against Mexico when they had some of those other key attackers coming into the fray. So Argentina, best route for them is just to go for it in this game.
Yeah, I think ultimately as the tournament goes on, this might be kind of the lineup or at least the attacking group that Mexico lands on and sticks with going forward. You get Enzo Fernandez, who Nick mentioned there, into central midfield, playing behind Messi and linking with Messi. We saw what he could do in those limited minutes in the second game. Obviously, the incredible goal that he scored, but also Julian Alvarez, who we have gotten to see quite a bit of in the Premier League with Manchester City this season, always has an effect when he comes onto the field. And I think just his kind of penalty area, he knows his way around the penalty area, unlike any of the other center forwards that Argentina have in the squad. And so I think he's going to bring that something a little different, that when that ball is in there and somebody needs to make the run just perfectly or be in the right spot at the right time, I think he's going to be that guy. And this is going to, I hope, as someone who picked Argentina to win the World Cup, I think give them a real platform to build on.
Yeah, you got a lot riding on this today, Andy. So you're going to be more animated than even Nick and I were yesterday for the US game for this watch along, but maybe not, because that was pretty intense, wasn't it, Nick? Looking at the starting lineups then, we look at Argentina's lineup first against Poland. Alvarez is in, Di Maria, Messi, McAllister just underneath him, Enzo Fernandez, Rodrigo de Paul in midfield, Otamendi, Romero at centre-back, Molina at right-back, Acuna at left-back, and then Martinez in goal. What do we think of that? Okay for Argentina?
Yeah, sounds like they're looking for a little bit more speed and sizzle, which is saying something when Lautaro comes out of the lineup. But I think you might see a better, sometimes the idea was to have more people who could benefit from Messi's playmaking. This seems like creating more room for Messi to get open and get out there.
Yeah, but I also think Alvarez is looking to get on the chance of on the end of chances created for him in a way that Lautaro, very creative type player himself, almost like one of those 9-10 hybrid type players. And so he's wanting to, I think, probably operate in a lot of those same spaces as Messi. And so maybe this just makes it a little bit clearer, instructions, responsibilities. Everybody knows what they need to be doing, and they get the ball rolling.
Absolutely. We're about to get the ball rolling here. So kickoff is fast approaching. For Poland, I want to look at their starting lineup as we get going. And thanks everyone for joining us in the comments. Send your questions. Love having all of you guys join us. So they've gone for pretty much a 4-4-2, it looks like, Nick. And interestingly, Swiderski up top with Lewandowski. So slightly more attacking lineup in the final third for Poland. What do we make of that? And is it all about just trying to get Lewandowski in the right positions? Because we know how clinical he can be.
I think they think that Lionel Messi is going to beat them at least once and that they're going to have to grab a goal to hang with them. Look, yesterday I kept telling you guys I expected 2-1 to be the score, that the U.S. would need 2 goals. I felt even better when I heard that Clint Dempsey was saying the same thing, and it shook out, of course, as a 1-0 game. I don't know how other players look at playing against Lionel Messi, but I imagine most times they're only hoping to kind of keep him down a little, not completely contain him.
Andy, score predictions. What are we going for, mate?
3-1 Argentina. This is the day it comes to life. It has to be, I think, for them.
Nick?
I think 2-2.
2-2. All right. I'm going to go something crazy. I'm going to go 2-1 to Poland. I think something crazy is going to happen in this game as Poland kick us off. We are underway. Poland against Argentina in the Group C finale. Wow, let us know your score predictions. Derek's got 2-1 Poland as well. We got a draw. Andy's got it's a win for Argentina. No doubts about that. 3 goals. Andy Mola's in the comments. Lucci's Gallery says, that there was a win for Argentina there, I'm pretty sure. Vamos Argentina, the draw. Lot of love for Argentina. So that's to be expected, but this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough against Poland. So, yeah, a lot on the line. Let's kind of map out, obviously, what the scenarios are and what the situation is in Group C, right? Poland atop on 4 points heading into this final game. Argentina are second on 3 points. Saudi Arabia are third on 3 points. And Mexico are fourth on 1 point. So the difference between Argentina and Saudi Arabia is that Argentina has a +1 goal difference. Saudi Arabia has a -1 goal difference. And Mexico, basically for them to go through, they need to win against Saudi Arabia and then hope Poland beats Argentina. Or it could be a draw between Poland and Argentina, and then Mexico would have to win big against Saudi Arabia and overturn the goal difference. So it could happen. I got some more score predictions coming in there. Argentina 2, Poland 0, Argentina 3. Poland 1, Argentina 3-2. I hope that's the case because that'll be nuts for us. King Fluffy says 2-0 to Poland. So, yeah, a lot of mixed bag there, Nick. I guess it's maybe probably showing a little bit of anxiety from the Argentine fans about what they saw against Saudi Arabia in the opening game and then the last game. But Lionel Messi's got a corner kick here, right? He's just about to whip it in to the penalty box. So hold fire on that. But not a great corner by the great man. Hit the man at a near stick. Can never do that. But Argentina got a chance at the back post. Romero gets up, but heads it wide. It's Otamendi, excuse me. Then there's a bit of afters there with Glick. He's saying he elbowed someone in the back of the head. So it's already getting a bit spicy between Poland and Argentina here, which we'd expect, Nick, with so much on the line, these two teams. I mean, is it evenly matched?
I think it is evenly matched because you have two just world-class, historically world-class attackers, one for each team. But I just was going to say, I was thinking, no sport in our world expects more body control when you're airborne and not using your hands as the focal point. You know, defenders are like, I can't believe you elbowed him in the head when you were trying to use your head to hit a 70-mile swung-in per hour ball. I always think about this with handballs as well. Well, he should have had that closer to his side. I'm like, have you jumped before? Huge save, by the way, for Saudi Arabia in their match against Mexico on a 1v1 chance.
Oh, absolutely. Mexico started very brightly in that game. Played clean through, middle of the goal, massive save.
That's the best moment we've seen from Mexico this whole World Cup in attack, is it not? Like the way that they got on the ball, drove forward through the middle. I think that's going to be there for most of the game for them today. If you kind of just look at how Saudi Arabia are set up, 2 in central midfield all by themselves. A lot of work in there, especially against a Mexico team that's got the pace that they do.
Absolutely. And yeah, that is the best moment we've seen from Mexico. Is it Vega who was played clean through, I think, and then just tried to dink it, but with a really good save for Saudi Arabia. And of course, that game, I love this group. It's everything still to play for. All 4 teams can make it to the last 16. So we're rooting for chaos here today. And this is fun. This is really fun to join everyone. Okay, let us know where you're watching from. We love doing this. As Poland get a decent chance on the edge of the box, Argentina half clear, comes back down, and it's a free kick to Argentina after a foul. But let us know where in the world or whereabouts in the US you are watching from, because this is really fun to see. We've got Boston in the house and seeing some of these locations coming through. Very jealous of where some of you guys are watching from. So we did it the other day, right? We just started adding places to our list of cities to visit and places of the world to visit. So California, Tampa, Florida. California's in the house again. Atlanta. And just to remind everyone, if you are looking to watch the game in Spanish in the USA on Telemundo and Peacock, you can watch on our NBC family of channels. pull up a stream, mute that, obviously, and then have us on as well. And you can send your questions direct, and we'll answer them direct. And you can watch in English in the USA on Fox as well. So just a quick reminder there of where you can watch the game with us on this watch along. We've got Long Island in the house, Ontario. Derek's in Ontario, Canada. Condolences, Derek, for that exit, but you did play well. Emma is in Indianapolis, Colorado. Yeah, there's a lot of Chicago, Pittsburgh, mild stomping ground. Andre Ward has opened up a can of worms, in the comment section. I was taken back there because Messi is not a GOAT. I mean,
it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I have not the GOAT. I'm always okay with that discussion because I hate the idea that there are multiple GOATs. I get it. I get the twisting of the words, but to say he's not a GOAT is hysterical. It's just clearly trying. It's going straight up. Pick the name of your sports talking head guy who you see his face and want to, dive into a wood chipper head first.
Yep.
I know. I'm very polite.
That's fair enough. Andy, what is your thoughts on how this game is unfolding early on? Argentina are having a lot of the ball, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Poland looking fairly dangerous on the counterattack when they can get out into space because Argentina have pushed up so far forward. But I think they're going to be pinned in most of the game. And Argentina, they're not just aimlessly crossing the ball into the box this game the way that they have kind of the first couple of games where they looked like they had no ideas. They're pressing and winning the ball high up the field as well. And so they're starting some of these attacks from really, really good positions. I cannot see Poland getting past 30 minutes playing like this without conceding a goal.
Yeah, this is worrying start for Poland, I think, because they just keep giving the ball back again and again. And Messi, everyone talks about how much he walks around the pitch during the game, but he's just kind of occupying those little spots there. He doesn't have, when you're that clever, you don't have to run around and chase the ball, right? He's just there picking up little spots. It's still 0-0, less than 10 minutes in, but so far so good for Argentina. And in the other game in Group C, Mexico whipping in a cross, dangerous cross, and somehow Saudi Arabia clear. But another good moment for Mexico. In the first, 7 minutes of that game against Saudi Arabia, we've seen more attacking intent from Mexico than we have across the entire 2 games combined, I think. So obviously they need to win, so that was expected. But as Messi gets on the ball and is driving forward for Argentina, lovely ball out to the left, but just overhits it. So it's all going on here. It's all going on. So yeah, this is chaos, lads. This is chaos.
And we've not even reached the chaotic point of the day yet as well. Like those final 15, 20 minutes, you've got to go 2 games that are tied or 1 goal in it. And the team that needs the result is the one that's on top or is not on top, and desperation begins to set in. I was very worried about that yesterday during the U.S. game, that something, obviously holding on to a lead as late as they were, and then stoppage time was as long as it was. There will be a chaotic moment today, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's I don't know after what's happened today. Earlier, Australia beating Denmark to go through, so congrats to the Socceroos. And then France, much changed France, losing to Tunisia. Poor Tunisia, for about 2 minutes they were in the last 16. They scored, and then so they were going through at that point, and then they flashed up on the big screen in the Australia-Denmark game that Tunisia 1-0 up. And then 90 seconds later, the Aussies must have seen it because they went flying up the other end of the pitch and they went 1-0 up. So Tunisia's jubilation lasted for about 90 seconds. But that just proves, Nick, anything can happen, right? And in this tournament especially, that's true.
What's funny is we talk about the surprises of the tournament, and I get it. We tend to, I don't know, we look, and maybe we think of Australia and we think of Tim Cahill and the Australias of the past. I look up and down that roster, and I can't imagine, even with games to go, that there will be a bigger surprise than Australia coming out of that group ahead of Denmark.
Yeah, and they're on the US side of the bracket. So if US has a shock against the Netherlands, and then Australia could do, all of a sudden it's kind of open up for US glory, right, Andy?
Let's not do this yet.
Okay.
No, Andy, I did want to ask. Look, I do want to interject. Because obviously you weren't with us yesterday. Yeah. Can you give us your take on the U.S. game?
it wasn't the prettiest game that they've ever played, and I love that. Like, this team has always been, it's always been, well, this is the most talented, this is the most whatever group of youngsters that we've ever had coming through. And they grinded that game out. Like, they had to be dogs in that game to get through it, because Iran brought the exact same intensity that they did. And so to see them have kind of that mental moment where they realize, and we saw what it meant to them after the game, and I think that's why it meant so much, was because they understood the moment going into it, and they stepped up to it. They weren't just as big as the moment, they were bigger than the moment. And we didn't know if they had that in them coming into this tournament, because they had never been in a situation like that. They've had some nice moments in CONCACAF where, they beat Mexico in the Nations League final the way that they did. That was great. And you could tell that moment was a learning experience for them, and they have kept that with them. And this stage of the World Cup, it's not too big for any of these guys. And that, to me, I think, is the number one thing that we've learned about this team so far at this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It was incredible to see. I think, Andy, you speak the same as me when it's exceeded expectations to really get out that group with this, and the way they played. Nick and I were talking about this. Not just the results, it's the way that they've played in all three games. It's very promising. As I just want to update, Messi has had a good shot on target, cut inside, saved at the near post, but the great man is just growing into the game. But yeah, to finish off the point on the US, Andy, Nick and I were discussing and saying the Netherlands are probably, as Messi loops in a cross into the center, Poland clear, about 65% to 35% percentage-wise in favor of the Netherlands going into this last 16 game. Do you think it's as much as that, or do you think the US has more of a chance?
Yeah, I think that's too much towards the Netherlands. Honestly, like, I've not been impressed with them thus far, and I think out of the teams from Group A, glad to have them. Might absolutely regret saying that in just a few days' time. Memphis might score a hat trick in the first half, and they really find their stride and they get going. But I've just not been blown away by them in any of their performances. So favorable, I think I would say, to say the least, because I can't imagine a time the U.S. gets out of a group, goes into the knockout rounds of the World Cup, and against a European side. Like, obviously, we've seen them against Ghana in the knockout rounds, but think about Belgium in 2014. It wasn't even 65-35 then. They weren't even that close. I didn't feel like ever in their history against a team that belongs in the knockout rounds of the World Cup. So it's uncharted territory. I feel so good about the U.S. team that it feels like something really bad is going to happen, just because never felt this confident.
Yeah, I mean, Andre had the comment there on the screen. I don't know if this US team is better than Donovan, Dempsey, Howard, Bradley, etc. Nick, I know we talk a lot about the best US teams in history, the most fun team to watch. Where does this current team kind of rank in terms of the quality of players? It is probably the best, right?
At the age and experience, it represents the best potential. But somebody said to me yesterday on Twitter, because I think I wrote in the player ratings that having Musa and Adams together is a luxury that we haven't had in the midfield in some time. And they mentioned John O'Brien and who am I forgetting? Because it's not the lineup I thought of in 2002. And it made me look at the lineup in 2002, and I realized the team that beat Mexico, the team that hung with Germany. I mean, listen to this unit that they had in the midfield. You had Eddie Lewis at either left back or left wing back, depending on how you look at it. Pablo Mascherano, who's probably as underappreciated a player because he was in the Gio Reyna generation. You had Landon Donovan dipping into the midfield if he wasn't playing it forward. You had John O'Brien, who injuries derailed him. Steve Cherundolo being kept on the bench in this tournament if they used Frankie Hayduk. The 2002 team was special. The difference here is all these players that we could be talking about, do the math, 20 years from now, if they keep getting better, it's going to blow your minds.
Oh, yeah. And like I think we're all saying now, the expectations of this tournament wasn't that great, but it was all about experience for 2026 on home soil. And now that's going to be even more experience in a knockout game against the European giant. Only going to hold them in good stead. So
yeah,
long may the US keep going. Argentina are going. They're coming up forward now down the left flank. Little ball just overhit into Julian Alvarez, but it's all Argentina, isn't it, Andy? And this is pretty ominous, I think, from Poland, or maybe they are just sitting back and just hoping for the odd counter or the odd set piece opportunity for Lewandowski to finish off. But one-way traffic so far in Argentina's favor.
Yeah, it's very similar in the other game as well, with Mexico just knocking on the door of Saudi Arabia. It feels like, I know they don't have a goal yet at the World Cup, but it feels like it's a matter of time for them. But yeah, Argentina just kind of going through the gears right now, kind of showing off what they can do in possession with the ball, slowly. And I think the important thing and what they're trying to do, they're starting to pull the center backs out of space just a little bit. Messi's doing a good job of kind of getting underneath the forwards. And I mean, wherever he goes, you got to send somebody with him. You cannot give him that type of space.
This comment is saying that the ghost of all times. I mean, that is just trolling of the highest order there, Nick Mendola.
It is. The worst part about experiencing Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo at the same time is going to end up being the super fans. And I generally believe, if I'm being honest.
Sorry, big chance. Messi. Yes. Clipping it in, and then I believe it was who was it there who just fired over the bar? It was Acuna there. Lovely little touch inside, and then smashed it with his weaker right foot, the left back, over the bar. But that just proved Messi's magic there. He's dropping deeper now to get on the ball and just picked out a lovely pass, didn't he, Nick?
Oh, 100%. I was just kind of marveling at the fact that happened. And for a lot of players, I would have raised my eyebrow, but I needed you to point out that it happened because it didn't go in, or it wasn't that. It's just the things you take for granted. It's like a little bit like LeBron in his prime scoring 40, and you're like, yeah, but it wasn't 50, was it?
Yeah, I know. Getting greedy. We're getting greedy, right? When there's so much greatness going around. You've got some other comments coming in here. Viva Mexico. It's still 0-0 between them and Saudi Arabia, by the way. And Saudi Arabia come back into it a little bit. Derek saying, cheers, folks. Thanks for doing this. Your pleasure, Derek. If anyone's at work across the States, pull up a stream, get your headphones in. Your boss will never know. And we can just keep you up to date with Poland, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico. And you got the stream up as well. Again, in Spanish, on Telemundo, and on Peacock, in the USA, and in the USA in English on Fox as well. So pull up one of those streams, and then we'll have you covered with commentary and literally just ask us anything you want. Football / soccer, anything in life. We're here to answer any of that. Okay, so I was digging out a few stats ahead of this game because obviously a lot of the focus is on Messi and Lewandowski, Andy. Robert Lewandowski scored 77 goals in 136 games for Poland. Messi scored 93 goals in 116 games for Argentina. So just absolute talisman for both of these teams. Can you kind of sum up sort of the greatness of both of these players? Obviously very, very different players, but still in their own right, just exceptional, legendary figures for their nations.
Was that a real number on Messi?
Yeah.
Okay. I genuinely, that is such an absurd number. 93 international goal. Like that's it right there. That says, I mean, that only obviously says part of what Messi has been, but I don't know, like, have you ever watched any athlete in any sport that anytime you see him play gives you just a feeling of joy? Like that is what Messi has always been, because he has always celebrated goals in the same way. It's always been the giving it this, like the big goals that he scored for Barca against Real Madrid, and obviously big goals for there is something about him that is just pure joy. And obviously, you share that talent with the world and you go on to become one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. Like it's just, I'm so glad that we got one more World Cup from him, because he's obviously not been able to lift that trophy. Give him one more opportunity when he's still really, really good. I know he's not maybe 2013 Messi anymore, but 2022 Messi's still pretty good, and he's showing in this game already. I mean, he is pulling the strings for this team, and to have, I know we talked about it a couple days ago when Argentina played Mexico, but like to have a player that everyone in the locker room not just respects, but has at one time or another, or currently still looked up to and been an idol and been a hero to play with someone like that. That's got to be, it is pressure, but it's got to be incredibly cool as well.
And Poland got a free kick on the right here, whipped it in towards the penalty spot, cleared by Argentina. And then Poland just kind of try to recycle it down the left flank, but it goes out. So Simon in the comment there, Ronaldo has more. He does have 118 goals in 141 games for Portugal. So that's pretty incredible as well. So obviously we're going to keep having this debate for all the rest of time, but Messi and Ronaldo, along with Maradona, Pele, are always going to be in the same debate. But it's a good debate to have over a couple of drinks. And we'll be doing this probably, Andy, with anybody else who wants to have this discussion for the rest of our lives, essentially. So
it's a matter of personal preference.
There's no right or wrong answer, right?
Although I will say, watching Ronaldo play has never given me that kind of joy, and he's not my type of guy, like personality and all of those. Like, it's just, I enjoy Messi for a lot of those reasons, but I've never had that kind of appreciate what Ronaldo has done throughout his career, but he has never made me think that or feel that the way that Messi has done, just consistently almost every single time you watch him play. And how many times have we watched that guy play?
Absolutely. Barbara's got a comment here. Poland is the best. SPO is still buzzing about the USA. So are we, to be fair. Great to see them in the last 16. And then Andrea says, does Poland have to win? Andreas, great to see you again. Thanks for joining the watch-alongs. Poland doesn't have to win. They can get through with a point. So that's kind of what they're going to play for, right, Andy? And so far, they're coming back into it a little bit. And I think there was a cross coming in there. It looked like Glick kind of tried to extravagant flick the big centre-back. And it kind of got in Lewandowski's way, right? He realised Lewandowski was behind him and ready to finish it off. So that's the best chance for Poland, or a half chance so far.
Yeah, I'm shocked that they're pushing the center backs up on set pieces the way that they are, just given how, I mean, this is a very, very defensive display from Poland so far. And the fact that a draw gets them through, I don't know, I hate being in that position for any team, because there is so much indecision, and, one moment of the game can completely change and just undo everything that you've set up, everything that you've done in the game so far. So I don't envy Poland being in that spot. I'd actually rather be in the spot the U.S. were in yesterday. Go win the final game of your group, and you get to go into the knockout rounds. Like, that just makes it so clear and so definitive on what you need to do and how to approach the game.
That's cool. And then this is another scenario here from Andre. Question: what does Germany must do tomorrow to get out of the group? So their scenario isn't as clear as the US, Andre. So they have to win, obviously, in their final group game against Costa Rica, and then hope for a bit of help and that the result goes their way in Japan against Spain. So it's not clear cut for Germany, one of the teams that always, no matter what, seems to get to the quarterfinals or semifinals. So yeah, it's all up in the air. But Argentina have got another corner out on the left. It looks taking it short to Messi. He's on the ball, comes back, goes back to guess who? Messi. He's dribbling inside, plays it inside to the right, clips it over towards Messi. Acuna then loose touch, and Poland clear it for a throw in. But Nick, that in a nutshell is just how important Messi is to Argentina. Literally every time they have the ball, they are just searching for him.
Oh, for sure. And hearing you guys' conversation as I experienced some technical issues quickly there, I couldn't help but say, when I want to have this discussion about Messi with the national team, Argentina's never failed to get out of a group stage at a World Cup with him. Whereas, all due respect to Cristiano Ronaldo, finished behind the U.S. in a World Cup group. So I don't want to make that a little bit of a oof, but it is a little bit of a oof when you're supposed to be a GOAT.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he is. He's one of the greatest strikers of all time.
It's banter, though. Andre, you're welcome for the response. And seems like you could be rooting for Germany tomorrow. So best of luck with that. It's going to be a nail-biting finale in Group E, as it has been in pretty much every group so far in this tournament. Okay, get your questions coming in. Again, let us know where in the world you're watching. I know at NBC, a lot of our viewers are from the US, but we have a lot of people watching from all over the world, lads. So hello to everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. It is Poland 0, Argentina 0, 25 minutes gone in the Group C finale. And in the other Group C game, It's Saudi Arabia 0, Mexico 0. But Mexico got a chance here. Oh, Saudi Arabia just clear it on the edge of the box. But wave after wave of Mexico attack right now. Where has this been all tournament, Andy Edwards? Oh,
I don't know.
From Mexico. A
Yeah.
good save down low.
And we've been asking that, like the first couple of games, we've been asking, like, where is the attack from Mexico? Where is the urgency? They just have not shown it. It's nice to see them showing it now. It might be a little, too little, too late. Obviously, in the third game, they don't control their own destiny. A win is great for them, but they need Poland to not get a victory over there in the other game. And so I don't know. It's this is what I expected from Mexico coming into the tournament because of just the talent that they've got with Chucky on one side, and Alexis Vega has been, for a team that hasn't scored a goal yet at the World Cup, has been exciting, has been promising, and has really shown some flashes. You just, end product. It hasn't been there at all, and it still isn't today, but at least it looks like, they can sustain this pressure in a way that they didn't in the first two games.
Is Mexico's usual uniform with the red socks and the green tops, is it a top 5 look in international soccer?
I think so. It's distinctive. I think you always know they're playing straight away if you see it. But
yeah, both of our nations, England and the United States, I think both, even England being as kind of iconic with the white, there's so many white teams that they don't quite qualify, I think.
Yeah, I think England with like the all white shirt, shorts, and socks, that always looks iconic to me. Spain in all red, Italy with the shade of blue that they have, the light blue. But yeah, Brazil's yellow, obviously.
Brazil is probably number one.
Argentina's blue and white stripes. But yeah, Mexico's right there. I love it. I remember turning up to the US when I first came over to play college soccer, and I had a Mexico jersey, and I wore that into the locker room one day, and my American teammates didn't take too kindly to that. They taught me very quickly about the rivalry. Oh, and Mexico nearly scored again. A wonderful save at the back post. Cross came in from the right, and who was there? I'm trying to see who that was in the melee at the back post, but someone got their head on it, and then
Henry Martin.
Nope. Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Pineda. Oh, it was Pineda.
A good block, a really good block at the last minute. So yeah, Mexico knocking at the door.
I'd also throw Italy's blues into that conversation as well, because it is such a distinct and unique shade of blue. You always know it.
Yeah, I would have said that, but I'm biased. Growing up in an Italian-American family.
I think I am slightly a little biased in that as well from what I gather, but it's still true.
So Claire says Argentina for the win 2-1. I mean, the way it's playing out right now, this seems like it's going to be maybe a 1-0, 2-0 situation. Oh, as it comes back to Julian Alvarez. Oh, great block. Argentina got the ball to the byline, and Acuna flashes a shot inches wide on the rebound. So just as I was saying, doesn't seem like there's going to be many chances. Argentina nearly take the lead. The ball got to the byline, cut it back for Julian Alvarez. His shot was saved, and then ball broke out to Acuna right on the edge of the box, and a lovely drilled shot across goal. Szczesny was beaten, but it just beat the far post, and it's still 0-0 somehow, Andy Edwards. But that was close.
As old school and classic as it is, 4-4-2 is still really incredible and incredibly difficult to break down, is it not? Like, you get that much help out there for the fullbacks in front of them. You can't overload the wings. You can't really get in behind. You've got the experience of Gregor Kukowiak in the midfield would be like, it is such a strong, solid defensive team, Poland, in the first place. And then you set them up in 4-4-2. Argentina finally starting to find a little space in behind. It's going to take 2 and 3, I think, to combine out wide to get the fullbacks pulled out of position. And that was kind of the first opportunity that they've had to get in behind. And that's a really good cross to Alvarez. It's a really good follow-up from Acuna. It's why I feel like it's just inevitable that Argentina are going to get a goal.
Yeah, and it wasn't the best finish from Alvarez, was it? It kind of scuffed it a little bit, which, that was difficult. We had a question there coming up. Who do we think's going to win from Andres? Nick, I went with Poland for some reason. I just rooted for chaos, really, in this tournament. I tried to double guess it, right? I was like, wow, we all think Argentina's going to win, but that hasn't worked out so far at this tournament. So what do you think? Are you still happy with that Argentine prediction for the win for you, seeing this first 30 minutes play out 0-0?
Yeah, I had it as a tie in my initial, but my initial prediction was Argentina winning the group.
Yes.
And that, in order for that to happen, they need to beat Poland.
Yes.
I don't know. I think what I'm torn because I'm getting angry at Mexico because they look very, very good. And I like CONCACAF to represent. I think once we get to the knockout rounds, I get a little less CONCACAF and a little bit more about the U.S. going further than any other club in the Confederation, or nation in the Confederation. But right now, I'm getting mad at Mexico because they may not go to the knockout round, and they look like the team that we worry about playing in continental competitions.
Yeah, obviously the one comment there, the situation for Mexico is they need to win, and they basically need Poland to win. That's what they want to happen here in order to get through. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. There's so many scenarios flying around, but this is just rough because it's better for them that Poland wins, because if they win, they go to +4 points, but also the goal difference is much worse than Poland. So that would be difficult for them to overhaul. So you might, for Mexico's fans here, they really want Poland to win, and then they get a win themselves. Okay, here's a US question, Andy. I come to you. Does Reina play in the next game? This is one we've been getting a lot.
Probably not. I don't know. As much as I want him to, and obviously, he might be the most creative, the most technically talented player we have in the pool. I don't know. There's a winning formula, a working formula that Greg has right now, and maybe you don't mess with that. You're not going to have nearly as much of the ball in that game, and so it's probably not a game for him from the start.
Cool.
Certainly, we do see him off the bench, though. Like, fingers crossed, we get Gio Reyna off the bench, and I think that's a great situation for him to come into this team. Like, we forget just how incredibly young he still is because he's been around and doing it for Dortmund at a high level for quite a long time. But yeah, this is tough for him. Like, it's really, really tough because all the hype and excitement he would have had.
Short, Andy. Argentina nearly scored straight from a corner kick. Di Maria went for the Olympico, ripped it all the way in, and Szczesny nearly got caught out, but just managed to tip it over his crossbar at the very last minute. But what a moment that would have been, because Di Maria definitely tried to do that. You could see the way he was looking. And Szczesny gave him a little cheeky smile and pointed towards him. And obviously, they're teammates at Juve, right? So, probably maybe he's tried it in training a few times. But
can I play devil's advocate to Andy's point, which I don't think is unrealistic or irrational? I'd like to point that out. I have to be the advocate. No. And I agree with everything Andy's saying, and he's probably right in how it projects. But I want to take umbrage with the recipe is working thing. And again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I thought they were the second most talented team in the group, and I thought they would get out. So my expectation, in fact, as I told Joe several times yesterday, was that we'd reach the third game with them a lot more secure than they were, because I thought they were better than Wales. And when Pulisic got hurt, and the answer wasn't to put in the other electric, can string passes together in the final third, instinctual passer, I thought this guy's never going to play, and I don't know what Berhalter's thinking. And I'm not trying to rip him. I think he's made a lot of good starting lineups. The adjustments obviously weren't there. And even though it worked, and putting Zimmerman in, we both agreed, Joe, that putting him in was the right call. To put in another defender is one thing.
Cool.
To start to chill in this most super compact back and basically stop trying to score is still infuriating to me, and I still think was the wrong call that just worked out.
Yeah, I was of a different opinion. I think that if they would have conceded and they didn't do that and sit back and just defend the lead, then everyone would have said, why didn't you bring on an extra defender? So I definitely understood why.
I like bringing on Zimmerman. I get that. But the way that they plugged in less electric players up top, I did not like.
Yeah, okay. MJM's got a good question. If both games end in ties, who goes to the 16? It just stays as it is, the table. So it will be Poland go through as group winners. Argentina will go through in second, and Saudi Arabia third, Mexico fourth. So as it stands, our first as it stands of the afternoon is Poland are through, Mexico are out at bottom, Argentina are through, and Saudi Arabia will be in third place. Mexico have a good game, a really good go here. Claire S says Di Maria is the hardest worker. What do we think of Di Maria's? Big chance there for Argentina again. Julian Alvarez was in, and then it was saved, and then he crossed to the back post towards Lionel Messi, who headed the ball, and he's gone down holding his face. It looks like maybe got a bit of a whack from Poland's goalkeeper Wojciech Szczesny. Are we going to see VAR here, gentlemen? Let's see. As the play develops, Alvarez is onside when the ball's played in. Szczesny does well to save initially, and then he gets the ball, clips it to the back post. Messi comes in, and I think Szczesny may have just clipped his face a little bit, but good save by Szczesny to start.
Yeah, he got him with the glove.
Yeah. But there's nothing in that. That's not a foul. That's not anything. So play on.
Joe, you realize we are a Saudi Arabia win and draw or Argentina win in the other game, although we've been seeing how Mexico dominates, from guaranteeing that a semifinalist comes from the Netherlands, USA, Australia, and Saudi Arabia. Like, that is still a scenario. And I can't help but start to, as much as I love Messi, and I've told you he is my quote-unquote GOAT, that is a potential U.S. semifinal group of four. I mean, it really is.
Talk about the draw. Oh, we got a VAR check here. The referee is going over to the monitor, it would seem, to check a potential penalty kick for Argentina after Messi went down. Szczesny cleared the ball.
Gets his face pretty clearly, gets paw into Messi's face.
Yeah. Did he get any of the ball? Didn't get any of the ball. Outstretched hand hit Lionel Messi. I don't think that's really a foul.
His hand does put Messi off from heading the ball. That would be the argument.
I think the ball's already gone by the time the hand hits him, though.
Right. But
yeah,
that's true.
The ball's gone. He's had an opportunity to head.
Is that dangerous or out of control? I don't think so. He's looking at the ball the whole time, and he's a goalkeeper, and he's going to catch it. So I think
it's a penalty. It's going to
be. And I think Messi knows that's a possibility too. There, like, anytime you leave your feet in the penalty area around the goalkeeper, you know a hand in the face might happen, and so it's not as if he was shocked by that.
The argument, if you're going to make,
let's check this out in the comments, Nick, before you make it.
Okay.
What did you guys think? Penalty kick or no penalty kick? Just let us know. Yes or no? Penalty, no penalty. But Nick, go ahead. What's your thoughts?
I think it's not a penalty, but the argument is that he cannot accurately attack the ball because he sees a hand flying towards his face, a hand that doesn't get the ball. So no, I don't think it's a penalty, but if you want me to make the argument, the Argentina fan argument is that. Actually, the Argentina fan argument is probably...
Okay, penalty kick is being taken.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi stepping up. The great man on the biggest stage. Can he be the hero for Argentina? Oh my word.
What a humanitarian.
Has been saved by Wojciech Szczesny. And I would say justice has prevailed. I did not think that was a penalty kick. So the soccer gods, whatever gods you believe in, they have, I think, made the right decision there. So Nick, Andy, that was a poor penalty kick, right?
Yeah. Was it saved? I thought it hit the post. I'm getting what a save in the comment section from a couple people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was saved, but
Szczesny's had an incredible tournament.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's been really good. So Poland, huge let off there for them. But Andy, what do you make of all that?
Yeah, I mean, we got the right result in the end. I don't think it was a penalty. That would be... Poland have defended very well in this game. Poland deserved to be level at 0-0 in this game because Argentina have not really crafted an incredible scoring chance, and to be given one like that, it would have felt a little cheap. It would have felt like this game would have felt robbed from us, I think, because it has the potential to be a lot of drama late on.
Yeah, Argentina keep pouring forward, though. The cross come in, which is blocked, but Poland are giving it away again. Acuña's coming forward down the left flank, trying to find Messi. Poland half clear it, but just wave after wave of Argentine attack now. And I think Swiderski did well to hold the ball up, but Poland, guess what? Give it away again, and it's coming straight back. And Argentina just on the ball, out on the left. Di Maria cutting inside on his left foot, from the right, finds Alvarez into the back post. He's trying to get past the defender, trying to look for Messi. Messi's on the ball in the penalty box, drills it across. Oh, just misses Di Maria at the back post. And Poland's goal was living a charmed life just before half-time here, but somehow it's still 0-0. But
definitely saved.
We've seen a nice replay from Szczesny there, right before. Great save. Big right hand as he dove to his left, pushes it away. The cliche, the classic, good height for the goalkeeper from Messi, that penalty kick. Yeah. But Szczesny was just saying to his teammates, don't worry, I've got this. He wasn't bothered in using all his experience there. But as you said, justice prevailed. And a couple of minutes before half-time, Poland 0, Argentina 0. In the other game, Mexico against Saudi Arabia is 0-0 there as well. But Mexico have a free kick about 35 yards out. On the right, they're looking for their big men forward from the back. Or they're going to have a shot. Comes to nothing, gets cleared. But Mexico, again, are coming in down the right-hand side. In the penalty box. Dangerous attack here for Mexico. Oh, shot is deflected and squirms inches wide of the Saudi Arabian goal. And Mexico having a real go here just before half-time. Saudi Arabia hanging on there. Hanging on.
It's hard to not see Argentina and Mexico both scoring very, very soon. Just the way that the areas they're getting the ball into, it's spending a lot of time in the 6-yard box. And at that point, I mean, it doesn't matter who it touches. It doesn't matter who the pass cross goes to. It just needs a touch.
Yeah, absolutely. Fizzy Water says never a pen. We've got a lot of people here saying Argentina still going to win. Okay, here's from Tomo. Argentina under Maradona was such an amazing team. While this Argentina side is bang average. Bit harsh maybe, but probably true. Probably true right now. As Alvarez gets swarms away, has a shot on goal. Szczesny pushes it away and then saves the rebound. A bit fortunate. So Argentina knocking on the door, Nick. But what do you think about that comment? I mean, it's are they bang average? Would you like to play them in the last 16 or quarterfinals if you come up against them, even with Messi?
No. No, I don't want that. I think that the midfield battle is something that the U.S. could potentially win, and I do like the idea of that. But again, we have not played a team, considering how poor the English attack was against the U.S. We have not played as creative and a firing sort of attack as you could face like this. I don't like the U.S. bunkered down the way Poland is, which isn't to say the U.S.
Yeah, I didn't mean the U.S. in particular. I just meant in general, would you want to play Argentina? But I know where your mind's at already. You're already thinking about the U.S. getting through the last 16 and playing Argentina in the quarterfinals.
Okay, I'm also thinking about Poland for this, and I cannot. I have to see this.
Deflected shot came in from Di Maria on the right. Szczesny saves. It cuts to a very nervous-looking Polish fan who's chewing some gum in the crowd and looking very, very anxious as he does it and thinking, when is the halftime whistle going to go? We just had some shots of Argentine fans in the crowd as well, and they were looking disappointed. Let's just say that. A bit fed up, Andy, with after that missed penalty kick situation. But Nick, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Poland to me is missing that burner off the bench. And I can see this game looking like this all the way to the final whistle, because even when they counter, there isn't that guy that scares you of beating you necessarily 1v1. It takes getting the ball to a Lewandowski or Swiderski or Peter Zielinski from distance.
Yeah, I mean, but again, Poland, all they need is a draw, right? And they're through. So they're playing for that. It's job half done so far. But we're going to have a lot of stoppage time, I think, after that VAR decision. So we're coming to the 45th minute. Argentina 0, Poland 0. If you're just joining us, thanks so much, by the way. Pleasure as always. Joe Prince-Wright, Nick Mendola, Andy Edwards will answer all your questions. But Lionel Messi won a penalty kick controversially when Wojciech Szczesny kind of scraped and grazed his nose a little bit, trying to collect the ball. But then he had his penalty kick saved. So some would say, including myself, justice prevailed in that scenario.
Same here, yeah.
So yeah, get your comments coming in. Wow, there's some crazy predictions here. Isaac says Argentina must be more creative. They're playing the same scene over and over. They better try some long-range shots. Andy, what do we think about that kind of comment? Is they're trying it over and over and they're getting in, and they've got in a couple of times, but the finish has just been off. I mean, do they just keep knocking at the door and keep doing what they're doing? Because it's creating chances, isn't it?
Yeah, they're creating decent chances, I would say. But at the end of the day, you know, you need a brilliant scoring opportunity in this game. You need to win this group if you're Argentina. And, you know, I think finishing second, obviously a massive disappointment. But what's frustrating about the way they're playing is they're playing so slow at the moment. Like anytime they get out wide or they look to get in behind, it's always stop, hold the ball up, look around, let Poland recover and refine their shape defensively. Argentina have worked so hard to create a little bit of space and to pull Poland out of position. And that was difficult. And every time that they do, they stop and say, okay, get back into position. Then we'll
look at the screen now. Look at the screen now. Argentina, there's a line of 2 banks of 4. And then Swiderski's just in front, so always making it a 4-5-1 with Lewandowski at top in his own. It's so organized, man. From Poland. And then they're letting Argentina basically saying, you can have the ball wide. Di Maria, Acuna bombing on from left back. You can have it wide, but when it comes in, we're going to get bodies in the way. We're going to have players around Messi. And they're just totally giving Argentina those wide areas. They're very well organized. They're basically playing the width of the penalty box, and that is their line defensively. Not fun to watch from Poland. They haven't been fun to watch the entire tournament. No. But they are within 45 minutes, if they get to half time, away from getting into the last 16, as you know, depending on other results that they would go through if Saudi Arabia doesn't beat Mexico as group stage winners, which is pretty surprising to me.
I wish I could show you guys the passing chalkboard for Argentina right now, because there's a few passes in the penalty area. They're all wide of the 6-yard box, though. There is not a single thing happening inside the penalty area within the width of the 6-yard box, and even so far as about 30 yards out, not a single pass attempted from any of that. Like, that is where Poland have clearly said that we know where Messi wants to operate. He wants to be in the middle of the field so he can create on the left, he can create on the right. You know, his influence, his touch on the game, you know, it covers the entire field, no matter where he is on the field. And so they've said, we are not giving you that. And they have done an incredible job of allowing absolutely nothing in there.
Yeah, that one comment there was interesting, Nick, hinting towards FIFA getting involved and a little bit of whatever you want to say, favoritism towards Lionel Messi, begging for a way to get Argentina in the knockouts. That doesn't happen, right?
No, certainly not. And honestly, I think
It is halftime, by the way. It is halftime. 0-0. Go ahead.
I think FIFA wants anything in the knockout rounds has always been kind of funny to me. I think maybe to get a team to a tournament, I could buy that maybe there's a little bit of wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But once you get into the group stage and you know you're getting every player in the round 3 times, barring injury, it's always been tricky for me. Now, that said, 2002, let's be honest, without you saw the U.S., South Korea, and Japan make runs with the tournament in South Korea and Japan. Then I can see why people were making the argument. But I don't know. I just think teams closer to home tend to do better. That doesn't explain Argentina. And now I'm really rambling. Forgive me.
It's all good. Mexico's still playing. They've got, a couple more minutes of stoppage time in the first half. 0-0 against Saudi Arabia. Mexico coming on the attack a little bit again. Much better for them in this game. But Saudi Arabia, got to watch out for them because they're on the counter now. They're actually playing clean through. Saudi Arabia, a good defensive tackle there from Mexico. But just as I was saying, you have to be careful. One tackle, kind of similar to how they scored their goals against Argentina, and then one ball played through and couldn't quite make the most of it, Saudi Arabia. They're asking for a red card, but I don't think that Mexico player there was the last man, so that's not going to happen. But we got some comments here about Mexico. Very rare, Gavin. Could Mexico still come back and make the round of 16 still? Andrea there with the same kind of question. So Mexico needs, and Saudi Arabia's player was offside, by the way, on that move, so it wouldn't have counted. But Mexico needs a win here against Saudi Arabia, then hope that Poland wins. That is their best route here. Of course, if they win and it's a draw between Argentina and Poland, they would be level on points with Argentina, but then it all comes down to goal difference, and Argentina has a 3-goal cushion right now on Mexico. So maybe we should get our calculators out later on. So might be some mental arithmetic for us, gents, if this gets really complicated in Group C. So that's what you need on a Wednesday afternoon. It is Wednesday. I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah. Now that we're to halftime in one game and just about in the other, I'm looking at some of the stats numbers here and expected goals, and I'm seeing if you even take away the penalty that obviously Messi didn't convert, still 1.2 of XG from Argentina in that first half. So I think painting a pretty good picture of just how in control and how dominant they've been, and Mexico sitting right at a full XG in the first half against Saudi Arabia as well. So it's 70% possession to Mexico. It's 11 shots to 3. Yeah, and to your point, Joe, every time Saudi Arabia have had an opportunity to go on the counter, it's been dangerous. Mexico, that's the game they have to play right now. They have to take every single chance in the world to potentially give up a goal on one end, because they have to have one of their own. So this is the exciting stuff at the World Cup. These next 45 minutes of Mexico just being as desperate as they could possibly be. I am excited to watch that.
Yeah, definitely. So Saudi Arabia had a chance, a diving header that just flashed just wide of Memo Ochoa's post, but maybe he had it covered. I don't know. But Saudi Arabia giving it a bit of a go, and their huge supporter group there, obviously just over the border from Qatar. So they got a huge number of fans at every game, almost like a home game for Saudi Arabia every game at this tournament. But a lot of Mexico fans there as well. Great to see them showing out. And it is halftime in that game as well. 0-0 between Saudi Arabia and Mexico. So it's as you were. Right now, it's the situation in Group C. Poland's top, the live table, on 5 points. Argentina's second on 4 points. Saudi Arabia's third on 4 points, but they have 2 goals worse than Argentina. So Argentina will go through on goal difference as it stands. And Mexico are bottom on 2 points. But again, a goal for Mexico, a goal for Poland, or a couple of goals for Mexico, and a draw, then that really changes things. So, okay, we got some more comments. Come on, Poland win. Portugal winning the World Cup. Not sure about that one. Final score, Argentina 3, Poland 1. Argentina has to win, otherwise they play France next. That's a good point, right, Nick? I mean, Argentina, that's why they're going for it so badly, because I think they realize that, we really would rather play Australia. No disrespect to the Socceroos. So it's all on the line here, isn't it?
Yeah, the Argentina-France game last World Cup was pretty fun. So 6 goals between the two sides, 2 assists for Lionel Messi. I don't know. You obviously, if you're France, you don't want Argentina here. You want any other team from this group.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, let's get to the key battles in the first half. Where's this game sort of tipping in? It is tipping in Argentina's favor, right? They've had the better chances, Andy. We talked about getting the ball wide a lot. What's been key for them getting that success and creating these chances? I know they haven't put any away yet, but they're knocking on the door time and time again.
Yeah, it's when they play quick, that Poland have the numbers back defensively to defend. And so, you can say Argentina had tons of possession and they created some chances and everything. And so they were, the better side, or they'd be happier at halftime. I think Poland are absolutely, and obviously, even the penalty aside, Poland are absolutely ecstatic to go into halftime at 0-0 because, for all the possession they have given, aside from the penalty, none of them have been like, oh, you have to finish that type scoring chances. And it just shows the discipline that this Poland team has and what would make them a very difficult out in the knockout rounds. Really, really difficult team to break down. Like, that's kind of the last thing that you want to see with a world-class striker in Robert Lewandowski up top as well. If they can get out of the group and they can get into the knockout rounds, they're going to be dangerous.
Absolutely. Nick, who's been the first half MVP? Is that Szczesny for his penalty save?
Yeah, I'd have to say so. Or who's ever marshalling that back line, who has stayed remarkably together. The lines are moving so well together, and it's something anybody who's ever played the game at any level knows. Being at the back end and trying to make sure that you're both defending and keeping the attack from being offside sure is tricky. So I have a lot of respect for that, especially since I was, for whatever you want to qualify a soccer player as, I played almost exclusively forward or wide mid.
Yeah, so Glick, I think, has done a really good job back there. The experienced centre-back, Kamil Glick, just really holding things together. Matty Cash is having a bit of a tough time, the Aston Villa right-back. A lot of Argentina's attack are coming through Acuna and Alvarez and Messi kind of just getting around Cash on that left flank there. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Szczesny, I think, for first half MVP. Andy, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, you save a penalty against arguably the greatest player of all time in a game that, to preserve a result that you absolutely need. Yeah, I would say he's probably the first half MVP, but like it's been the entire back line. It's been the entire midfield as well. Some of the numbers that are going to come out of this game, the miles run from these Polish players back to, it's going to be absolutely incredible. Like we are watching a very, very good defensive display from them. Like if you want to have an example to show someone that maybe doesn't fully understand soccer or wants to understand it better, and the different styles, like this would be an incredible example to show how defending as a unit can stymie and level out, can equal the greatest of all time. Like it's impressive.
Yeah, we got some comments here, obviously hoping Argentina will come up with a win. Tony there. We've also got Perry saying Messi's going to get a goal in the 50th minute. That is a very specific bit of information there. And Isaac saying if Argentina doesn't score in the first 17 minutes, they should bring Dybala in, will create unforeseen chances. Obviously, he's struggling with an injury, wasn't he, before the World Cup? So let's wait and see. Poland doing a great job of not moving their lineup, was just waiting for a surprise counter. Yeah, exactly. Solid banks of basically a 4-5-1, really. Poor old Lewandowski's just been really isolated. He's hardly touched the ball in that first half, but he will not care if the scoreline remains the same. But it's really, really difficult. Okay, we got some questions sort of saying about Argentina, must tack outside there. Viva Mexico. Hammy's going for Saudi Arabia. Andre called me out for my Mexico jersey that I wore during my pit days. Obviously, that was a bit of a mistake, knowing the rivalry now as well as I know it. Anime Kid says Messi is the best. So let's go into this next topic then, Nick. I mean, how would you rate Messi's first half? Obviously, missed the penalty kick. Aside from that, he had a chance at the near post. He flashed in. He was there to try and get in the end of a cross for a header, which won the penalty kick. He's popping up in these little pockets of space, right, and dropping too deep for my liking at times, just kind of like he did against Mexico. But just loves to get on the ball and get involved, doesn't he? So you kind of just let him do whatever he wants. But
he missed the penalty.
I was going to say, right? He's missed a lot of penalty kicks over the years.
Yes, he has.
Right. Yeah. What is that all about? Can we actually explain his greatness and the fact that he's?
Do you want the numbers real quick before you go, Nick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I've got the career stats right here because I was curious, and so somebody tweet them. 78% conversion rate for country, 18 of 23, 78.5%, almost identical. 95 of 121 for club, right at exactly what a penalty is worth in terms of XG. And so you could say,
it? Okay. Yeah.
What is it? 0.79, I believe is how most of the programs count it. So yeah, you'd expect better from him, wouldn't you?
I don't know. Yes, of course I would. But I would say this, if you put like a miniature golf windmill and like 8 different stakes, and maybe it would be easier for him because he's used to having 65 dudes around him. But I don't know. I think a penalty in a little bit is a little bit of a great equalizer. I can't explain why anyone ever misses, but they do. And there's a reason that teams, I mean, England for the last 20 years. No, but for the last 20 years, we will hear it will be a news story that they practiced penalties that day. So it's something psychological. I can't quite get to the bottom of it. I have to change the topics, though, because I can't get past it. It's not true, but it's also true. The commenter who asked, Joe, have you ever been compared to David Guetta before? The DJ from France?
No, I don't believe I have.
I don't believe you have either, but somebody made the comparison. He said David Guetta is a good commentator, and I can't stop trying to find David Guetta in your face.
Is he is he on the stream somewhere? Can we invite him? David, come and join us if you want, mate. But Some good comments coming in. Daria, Poland will win. And Lee says, does Poland have a chance to win today? I guess they don't need to win, right? I mean, just need to draw. But I guess unless Saudi Arabia go 1-0 against Mexico, then they might go for it. But it's a really perilous situation, treacherous for Poland. I think they're playing it as well as they could right now, Andy. I mean, penalty kick aside, I mean, really, they've been solid. Like we said, defensively, the lines have been good. Yeah, you want to take the pressure off a little bit because it's just been coming back. The only thing I think Poland needs to improve on in the second half is to keep the ball. And yeah, I think then they'll probably get the draw if they can keep the ball a bit better.
Yeah, they are not trying to win this game. I don't think that's a stretch to say that at this point. What we saw from them in the first half, they had just 2 shots, both very early. So I think about 25 minutes without a shot to finish the half, and that's when Argentina really got going and ramped up the pressure. I would imagine probably all of the subs for Poland are going to have a little bit of a defensive slant to them, whether that's bringing off a forward for another midfielder or bringing off a midfielder for another defender. I would imagine that it's as many obstacles, and Nick is right to point that out, as many obstacles as there were in the first half for Messi to try and weave around and work his magic. I think there's going to be more in the second.
More. Okay, we've got a comment there. I honestly want Poland to win. Argentina be throwing around as hard as a Mexican. I want Poland to. Okay, so the whole of Mexico right now is like, come on, Lewandowski, come on, Poland, you can do this. But the whole of Poland is like, just hold on for the draw. We don't really want to go for this. We don't want to get caught out. So all around the world, people are looking for different things and praying for different things. Argentina, a lot of love for Poland. Mad there is, I'm rooting for Poland still. Go Polska. Messi is washed from Alex. Oh, harsh. The Messi slander here. My word. Who was the trio for Argentina? That's from Ian. I assume you mean attacking trio. So Alvarez, Messi, and Di Maria started up top. But looking at the options, Papu Gomez, Lautaro Martinez. Yeah, there's some decent options on the bench, but I don't know if Dybala is fit enough to come on. Obviously, you'd think. And then again, another comment there saying Argentina must attack outside, not inside. So just try something a bit different, I suppose. But it's
who's your combination guy is the question, really. Like, who is the guy who's going to come on there and work with Messi to break inside? How many times have we saw Messi kind of drive in, carry the ball, lay it off, and then make the cut that springs him through on goal? So it's less about if that's Lautaro, maybe. Yeah.
I think you're right. I think that's who I would bring on pretty sharpish at the start of the second half if they don't bring him on at halftime. So to see an aerial shot here at the stadium, a lot of nervous Argentine fans. Again, thanks so much for joining us on this watch along. I'm Joe Prince-Wright, the host and lead writer over at Pro Soccer Talk. Delighted, as always, that Nick Mendola and Andy Edwards from Pro Soccer Talk are joining us from Buffalo, New York, and Kansas City. I'm in England. All of you guys, let us know where in the world you're watching from. Love tapping into where you are on the globe. Poland are making a couple of adjustments, it looks like. So wait and see what their coach is talking to players about there.
Joe,
but it looks like at halftime they're making 2 substitutes. So probably because they knew Swiderski and Frankowski are off and just trying to see who's coming on. But obviously they know they cannot keep running. Skoras and Kaminski are coming on for Poland. So they know they have to have some fresh legs to keep defending in a blocks of 4 and basically a 4-5-1 like this. So, yeah.
So if Mexico, just to switch to the other game for a second.
Yes, go ahead.
If Mexico fails to score, forget whether it's a draw or a loss in this matter, and your Tata Martino and the bench includes Raul Jimenez, Andres Guardado, Uriel Antuna, Eric Gutierrez, Hector Herrera, some of the heroes of the Mexican national team. And I know a lot of those names are getting a little bit older. You took a risk that didn't pay off, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's the end for Tata. We talked about it last night, right? It's the end for Tata pretty much, whatever happens in this tournament now. So, yeah, I don't know. Mexico fans, how are you feeling about this team? I think it's been in transition, it feels like, for the last 3-4 years. And just, I don't know where the next generation's coming from, really, right? That's the big problem.
Yeah. When you need to move on generation to generation, you have to just do it full stop. You can't kind of halfway in, halfway out, try and kind of smooth it over. Like, I think the U.S. probably was a perfect example of that for Mexico and just where the program found itself after failing to qualify for 2018, and then just completely. Now, I think we could have done without the year of Dave Sarakin. All due respect to Dave Sarakin, but you have to hit the hard reset. I think to come back with an incredibly young team after this World Cup is what we're going to see from Mexico, and that'll be exciting because there's a lot of talent that has just not gotten a look into the team because of some of the names you mentioned.
Absolutely. Great to see where you're all coming in from. We got a lot of people.
We got to go.
We got to go early in the second half. Yeah. Right at the start of the second half, Angel Di Maria, crossing from the right, and who scored?
Alexis McAllister.
Brighton and Hove Albion's Alexis McAllister. The Seagulls. Nick loves them. So right at the start, within the first minute of the second half, Argentina go 1-0 up against Poland. And there goes Poland's game plan as it cuts to Robert Lewandowski and a shot of him looking pretty bemused because we talked about it all first half, right? Poland let Argentina have the ball wide, cut these balls back to defend, and they totally switched off there. They let Di Maria have it initially, then the overlapping run, and a great ball into the box, Andy, and pretty easy in the end. Molina with a great cross, and then McAllister kind of scuffed it into the ground, and the spin on the ball just took it away from Wojciech Szczesny, who's despairingly just a dive to his right, just couldn't get there. And that's a little bit of luck that Argentina needed. So as it stands, they are going through as the group stage winners.
You can't spell Alexis McAllister without Messi. So that's another assist for Lionel Messi. So
okay, fair enough. But no, that was so good from Argentina right there because one, they got incredibly wide when Di Maria gets on that ball. He is all the way on the touchline. Molina somehow even a little bit wider, and so they get those two isolated one-on-one against the fullback in a way that they weren't able to do in the first half because it was too narrow. The center back on that side helped out. It was a little bit too deep. The midfielder on that side helped, and they just were not able to get 2-on-1 and put somebody in the spin cycle. And they finally did that, and you open up that kind of space for the quality that Argentina have up top and in that midfield pushing forward. That was the finish that we needed to see from Alvarez earlier in the game as well, Joe. And I think you pointed it out. He just took a little bit too long, didn't get it out quite quick enough. You take it first time like that on a great ball in with that much space, you have to hit the back of the net.
Here's a theoretical for you, Joe and Andy. Right now, if Poland were to win the group, it's not happening at the moment, but if it would have been Poland or the Netherlands, would you fear Poland more than the Netherlands as a U.S. fan? And which team that could end up in your side of the bracket right now? You're going to get a team. If you were to beat the Netherlands, you would face Australia or a team from this group. Just to do the exercise we did yesterday or 2 days ago with Senegal. Who do you want? Who is the better person for your group to give you a better semifinal odds?
Well, yeah, I don't think you want to play Argentina if you're
correct. US, right? I was assuming that.
Yeah. Or as Mexico have a shot from distance that's pushed away by the Saudi Arabian goalkeeper. Mexico really got to go for it now. I mean, the score will probably come through in the stadium, right, Andy? Showing that Argentina's up early and the message will get across.
They were not even out of the tunnel when Argentina had scored. So they were just coming up to the tunnel. So I'm sure it was
a great chance for Poland to equalize at the other end. Kamil Glik just heads inches wide. A free kick from the right. Glik arrives on the penalty spot, flicks it.
It was all set piece danger in the first half from Poland, and it looks like it's going to be a lot more of the same. But having burned a couple of subs already and then conceding a goal a minute, that has to feel absolutely awful.
Mexico 1-0 up. They got one of the goals. They're ahead against Saudi Arabia, so they need a couple more of those now with Argentina winning. But they've given themselves a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. Well done for Mexico. That's what they needed early in the second half.
Henry Martin.
So they're they're 2 goals behind Poland right now, correct? Poland a goal down and Mexico a goal up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's the next tiebreaker?
Let's see.
Because I can see Mexico scoring again, and I can see Argentina scoring again.
It'll go to goals scored after goal difference, and then it will go to points obtained in the matches between the teams.
Wow, this is nuts. Here's the drama and the chaos we were rooting for.
The final day of the group stage always delivers it, does it not?
It's brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
So many of these groups have gone down, and Saudi Arabia at the other end have come flying up, and they have to have a go now as well. So, yeah, this is absolutely crazy right now, lads. So to recap, it is 1-0 to Argentina with an early goal in the second half against Poland, and 1-0 to Mexico against Saudi Arabia with another very early goal in the second half. So, as it stands, the group stage standings right now is Argentina sits top on 6 points from their 2 games. Poland sits in second with 4 points. And Mexico sits in third with 4 points. But there is now only 1 goal between Poland and Mexico in goal differential. So this is going to get fun. Strap in. We're going to get the calculators out. We said it earlier. This is going to be a lot of fun here. So keep your questions coming in, everyone. And remember, you can watch both these games live in Spanish in the USA on Telemundo and on Peacock across our NBC family of channels, and in English across the USA on Fox. So Nick Mendola, quite the start to the second half we just had it.
Well, I had been thinking the whole time, oh, if this doesn't pick up, at least we've got a crazy tomorrow coming. I've been thinking these groups, and we've seen a few of them now that can shift with every single goal. And granted, tomorrow we're going to see Spain, who's walking in there with a +7 goal differential. But this today was crazy in the AM. It looks like it's going to be crazy in the PM. And then tomorrow, Canada, the only team going out of 8 teams who's been eliminated. The last day probably looks like it's going to be a little tamer, but this has been an awesome couple of days.
Oh, yeah. It's been absolutely incredible. The drama at this World Cup. I can't remember really a World Cup where it's been this tight in the group stages. It's always good, but this has been epic. And I want this kind of group stage, and it's kind of a shame that it's going to be expanded to more teams. And this group stage format looks like it's going to be broken up because it's pretty perfect the way it is, I would argue. But
the second games will become incredible, though, in a lot of the same ways, and easier on the math as well, with just two games of results to factor into.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, I need a breather after the start to the second half here, lads.
You know what? You'll also like the odds. I'm assuming that. Have they announced how it's going to play out? Is the seeded team going to play their last game last? You would presume that's how it would be, right? That the last game is the seeded team against somebody else, or will they have the seeded team play the first 2 games? I imagine they're going to let the favored team know what's in front of them going into the last game.
Oh, yeah. You would think. Lionel Messi's got the ball on the edge of the box. Di Maria's got it in the box now. Poland struggling to get back, can't clear. Di Maria trying to get into his left foot, looking for Messi. Argentina still have the ball. I think Rodrigo de Paul's on it now, just recycling the play, trying to slow it down a bit. And Poland, bit of urgency now about their play, obviously. But Argentina just finding those little gaps just in front of the Polish defense. Being more patient now. They obviously have that luxury, don't they? Being up a goal, they can just stroke the ball around. Di Maria to Messi, to De Paul, back to the middle, and then Lionel Messi's just dropping a bit deeper to get on the ball here. But this is a clinic on how to play the game out now, I think, from Argentina we're going to see.
This is Italy 2002 written all over it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we've got a comment here from David saying, Argentina have improved their style of play. However, Poland doesn't look great. Football lovers will always crave high-quality attacking football as much and often as possible. And I'm one of those for sure. We're all with you. Oh, talk about high-quality football. Mexico have just gone 2-0 up. An incredible free kick. And that, Mexico, the dream is alive for them.
If they score again, I think they take the tiebreaker advantage.
They do indeed.
Because Poland has 2 goals, correct? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mexico.
I want it. I want it for Mexico now that it's an opportunity.
Wow. Chavez with an incredible free kick there.
He's made a name for himself. He's a guy you're going to hear about.
Oh, what a free kick that is. Central, nearly 30 yards out, whips it up and over the wall with his left peg.
Yeah.
And that is straight into the top corner. No stopping that. Wow, what a start to the second half, lad. It was a slow burner today, wasn't it? Didn't have anything really going on in the first half apart from the penalty save. And yeah, this has been excellent drama so far in the second half.
I think Mexico is going to go through, guys. I can't see it going any other way at this point.
The momentum is there.
Current standings is Argentina on 6 points on +2, Poland on 4 points and +1, and then Mexico on 4 points but on 0. So they need one more goal. They'll be level on Poland on goal difference, but then they'll be going through on goals scored. So, wow, this is absolutely crazy.
If Argentina can get one more goal, I can see Poland just wilting. Not because of any sort of character, but because they came into this game thinking they could get a draw, thinking they could hold Argentina the way that Mexico held Argentina. And it's a lot of the same game plan, guys. The press is a little bit the defense is a little more stacked in rather than pressing in the midfield to win back the ball. But I think it's not even the Mexico game. It's the next goal in this Argentina game that is really going to turn up the chaos. Because if it's Poland, look out.
Wow. This is just bonkers. The miracle is on for Mexico right now. One more goal. If the results stand, one more goal for them or one more goal for Argentina, and Mexico are going through. I mean, we said it was going to be tight and a crazy Group C finale, but I don't think any of us were really prepared for this, right, Andy and Nick? So,
has anybody prepared for the possibility of being 2 wins away from U.S.-Mexico in the World Cup quarterfinals? Is anyone prepared for Berhalter versus the guy they wouldn't interview so they could hire Berhalter? I mean, this is bracket magic here for CONCACAF.
Absolute narratives galore. That is just chaos.
Would you favor Mexico to beat? Oh no, they wouldn't be. I'm sorry. They would.
Yeah, they would go to the other side. I was trying to work that out there, but yeah, it's
dang. Sorry.
Yeah. Would you have them in the final?
Oh, I would love that. Could you imagine the fire the internet would be on it for a Mexico-U.S. final?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many jokes I can't make right now.
Oh, this is intense. This is really intense trying to work out all these permutations here. As we go deeper. Oh, they've got the goal, but it looks like it might be offside. Sorry, I've gone too early with the celebration.
Oh,
Lozano tucked it away, but the flag is up. I don't know if they're calling for VAR, but let's have a look here. Lozano's played.
I think he's on.
You think the guy in the left back position might have been keeping?
I think
the initial
defender
pass,
closest to him.
The initial pass from Lozano, when it was played back into him, I think he was offside. Whoever played it into Lozano was offside.
I'm just thinking right now about an American city like Chicago, which is a lot of Polish heritage and a lot of Mexican heritage, and how torn it must be. You guys know I'm a big Chicago Cubs fan. I've spent a lot of time there, met a lot of soccer fans, and there are 3 nations I've spoke to the most when I was there, and it's Polish fans, Mexican fans, and U.S. fans. So a shout out to my friends in Chicago right now. It's got to be so intense.
Definitely. Oh, wow. This is intense here. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Mexico would play France. And does France want any of that?
I think they'd be okay with that.
I think they would too, yeah.
Yeah. I think France would have their way with Mexico, honestly. Like, this is not the best Mexico team that we've ever seen, right? And so,
but Andy, they put in against France. It's the bunkered down, tooth and nail, Herrera, Guardado, all the hard edge guys out there.
I don't know that they'll do that though. Like, I don't think that's how Tata would approach it, because I think it's so clear what happens if you play that way against this France team. And granted, they just lost to Tunisia. It wasn't their A team. It will be their A team for the round of 16, and I just cannot see Mexico being able to withstand the waves of France as they come.
Yeah, this is
what do we got? Has it been officially taken off the board?
Oh yeah, it's been taken off the board. So we're rooting for chaos here. Rooting for chaos still. And thanks everyone for joining us. Remember, if you're in the USA, you can watch in Spanish on Telemundo and on Peacock on NBC's family of channels. And you can watch in English on Fox in the USA. So pull that stream up for this crazy last, half an hour we've got. And again, if these results hold, then Poland somehow is still going through with Argentina. But Mexico just needs one more goal for Argentina, one more goal for themselves. And if the results hold, then Mexico are pulling off the miracle. Argentina are still going for it. Nearly got that second goal that Mexican fans are praying for. Decent save. McAllister again.
Roberto De Zerbi's blue and white army.
Oh, yes. And then Mexico are just absolutely all over Saudi Arabia at the moment. Another corner comes in from the right. Goalkeeper's flapping at it like a salmon. And Lozano nearly comes in at the back post to head it home. And this is just chaos. Obviously, I'm losing it.
Joe, we have an inside. You made me think of this. We have an inside joke in our house based on the Sean Dyche looky-likeys bit. We talked about it last year when he was coaching Burnley, and he talked about playing the game of basically lookalikes in the crowd. And he says at the end of it, and my son, who's 12, loves it. He goes, he calls someone out, and he goes, "Oh, you don't believe me? I'll slap you with a wet fish." So it's a big line in our house, getting slapped with a wet fish. And I thought that's where you were going with that.
Oh, wow. No, I wasn't. But that was good to hear.
Sean Dyche, U.S. men's national team coach, who says no.
Oh, I think most people might.
I know.
No disrespect to Sean, because he did a really good job at Burnley over those many, many years. Get your comments coming in. Mexico fans, how you feeling out there? Argentina fans, how are you guys feeling? Because these scenarios right now are just got. Oh, and another good save from the Saudi Arabian goalkeeper. Another try for an Olympico there from Mexico. They tried to whip it in at the near post. So this is just utter chaos from start to finish. And I love this right now as I'm looking at the page we have up on Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com with the tiebreaker rules for the group stage, the scenarios, what it's all coming down to. So to help you guys figure it all out, we've got that up on the site. So head over there, and that will help you, I think, once we get the calculator, whatever method, toes, fingers, we're going to be counting all sorts here in a minute, lads. Okay, will Argentina score one more and save Mexico to move to the next round? I think they will, right? Poland have totally gone. No attack intent whatsoever from Poland so far. What we got? 28 minutes to go. I think for Mexico, though, it's just Argentina. What do they do now? Do they bring on a couple of more defensive players, Andy, to hold out for the 1-0 win and just maybe try and counter if they know Poland have to go for it late on? I mean, that's probably the better play from Argentina rather than going for the second now and then getting caught themselves on the counter. So it's difficult.
Andy,
oh, Messi's on the ball, 30 yards out, running towards goal. Jinx it past 3 Poland defenders, and one of them gets in a block. It goes out for a corner. So, Andy, you continue with Nick's questions. He's about to
No, Andy, I'm looking at this now, and you predicted Argentina to win the World Cup. If things hold, how do you feel about it? It was a journey to get there, but Saudi Arabia scored 2 goals. Their XG was 0.15. We're all watching this game right now. Poland's XG is 0.33. So this is the most dangerous a team has been against them. You could argue the only goals they've allowed were bangers from Saudi Arabia. So do you feel like, yeah, I like my pick?
Yes. It was the first game. And maybe I'm rationalizing here. Maybe I'm making an excuse. It was the first game coming into the tournament. They got hit twice out of absolutely nothing in a game that they otherwise looked really, really solid in. And they have the experience, like they've been through a major tournament, been to multiple finals, with Messi and the team, obviously Copa America last summer. And I'm looking, my big question, honestly, now is I don't think they have the attacking talent that fits together correctly to actually, I think they're good. I think they're solid. I think they will definitely be there in the quarterfinals, maybe a semifinalist type team, but they don't. Like Angel Di Maria at almost 35 years old is still starting for this team, and he probably shouldn't be, but there's just no one better that I think fits into that role and can play with Messi and has the trust of, and I think that's probably a very, very important thing. And so for all the brilliance of Messi, there is an element of kind of playing general manager and coach and having a little bit more say and power than any other player or star typically would with the national team. And so, I don't feel bad about picking them. I don't feel like it was a terrible pick,
No, I
but
think it's good.
yeah, I've softened on. Yeah, I'm having to convince myself now. I just realized I'm convincing myself, not you guys.
But every game, every day that goes by that gives Dybala a chance to be healthy could change that equation. And I think about if this Argentina team with Messi was able to figure out an attack that was forward heavy with Messi, Aguero, Higuain, I certainly think they could figure it out if Dybala does get back to health, because man, what he's done for Juve, he springs up. He's never afraid to even come off the bench, and he has been a missing piece. And maybe even having him in there opens up Lautaro a little bit, who's largely been very disappointing.
Yeah. Lautaro, I thought he was going to be really good and really good for Messi at this World Cup. But yeah, it's so difficult, Nick. I don't think this Argentine team has showed up. I know they're winning now and they're going to go through to the last 16 as things stand, but I really don't think they've showed up this entire World Cup so far, even against Mexico, apart from a good goal from Messi and then a late clincher, right? That was it.
Yeah.
So I just can't see them going deep in this World Cup. And I actually had them going out in the round of 16 in my bracket. So I'm feeling pretty good about that selection. I don't know if they will. Then probably might get to the quarters depending on what part of the group they finish in, as Mexico come flooding forward once again in the other game.
Woo!
And it is...
We got another goal for Argentina.
Another goal, which, if my math is correct...
Your math is correct, yes.
Means Mexico is going through at the expense of Poland. And what a goal that is. Julian Alvarez, right?
Yep.
What a finish.
Erling Haaland's backup. Think about that.
Wow.
Oh, tears in the crowd in Argentina.
Wow.
Well, not in Argentina, but Argentine fans.
As it stands, Mexico are going through.
This is a very...
Well, hold on. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Because that puts them level on goals scored, since Mexico have not scored another. And so I think the tiebreakers go all the way to 7 with fair play points at this point, do they not?
Oh.
Maybe.
Because
what a piece
because
of
we
work
were talking,
that
if
would be.
Mexico score another one, then they would be equal on goal difference, but they would have scored 3 goals to Poland's 2. But as it stands, it's currently 2 for each team.
Sounds like I need to whip up an article on the fair play points table. Man, would that be...
We do have that.
Would that be a way to come out of a World Cup? Oh, sorry. We just didn't play fair enough, and we went home from the biggest tournament in sports.
Yeah. So now we have to figure out the yellow cards that Mexico and Poland have had, right?
I've got it right here. As of at the start of the game, it was Poland had 4 yellow cards, Mexico had 6.
And Poland haven't had any yellow cards in this game, right?
No, correct. So right now, Poland...
You want to get CONCACAF'd at a major tournament? This is getting CONCACAF'd at a major tournament.
Like, if that's communicated to the players on the field, do they just stop going in for challenges right now? Like, and that's a genuine question, because...
No, because they can't give up another goal, and you have to challenge...
Yeah.
That is a very interesting question, though.
I simultaneously really like and hate that it's coming down to this at the moment. There's 22 minutes left, and a lot can change, obviously, still. But if that's what it ends up being, that feels terrible.
Didn't West Ham go to Europe? Didn't West Ham go to Europe a few years ago on the fair play table?
Yeah.
There was someone in the Premier League that did, yeah.
This is absolutely crazy right now.
The Mark Noble Award.
This is absolutely crazy. The tiebreaker rule is coming into force.
How very USA and Mexico to leave it for the last day, though, right?
Oh.
Costa Rica is literally, their heart, like the Grinch, is growing 3 sizes bigger right now.
This is just absolutely crazy. So it's going to go down to yellow cards right now.
The American sports media is not going to be able to take this. Soccer is going to be lit on fire in the United States of America if this happens.
Wow.
Come on, Messi, save us. You got to think Mexico could score again.
Doing okay out there. So it is 2-0 to Argentina with 20 minutes to go. It's 2-0 to Mexico with 20 minutes to go. What that means is Argentina are top on 6 points. Poland and Mexico are both level on 4 points and both have 0 goal differential. But right now, Poland are going through to the last 16 over Mexico because of yellow cards. Having less yellow cards, as Lionel Messi has a shot, which is saved. And of course, right, we need one more goal for Argentina. And then that would tip the favor back in Mexico, and they would be going through over Poland, correct? So
what a charmed life to be Mexico the last few World Cup cycles, right? First you get the Sanssouci to qualify for 2014. You don't return the favor to the US in 2018 on the final day. Remember, I don't remember if it was a draw or a win for Mexico either, because there was one of 27 combinations of possibilities of results that day that the US wouldn't qualify. And so a draw or a win against Honduras on the final day, and Mexico had already qualified, would have gotten us in. They could have returned the favor. They didn't. Now, fast forward at the actual World Cup, and this is happening right now. Incredible.
But Andy, also don't forget, in order for the U.S. to miss a World Cup, Panama scored a goal that didn't cross the line. Like it was the most CONCACAF group of scenarios. It was Trinidad's B team. Like literally Trinidad admitted, we're not going to have all our guys. We're out of this. The Honduras result. And then it was Torres, right? This old Seattle Sounders player who did not score the goal that was the goal that sent Panama to the World Cup to be in a group with England. Unfortunately, unlike the United States of America, Panama had trouble against England at the World Cup. Joe, I'm going to get you a shirt made that says USA undefeated against England at the World Cup.
I will never wear that, but thank you.
You are very good at banter. Yeah.
Okay, so Andrea says if Mexico doesn't get a goal, they are out. As it stands, yeah, unless something changes.
Well, another Argentina goal as well would do the trick.
Yeah,
that's a ball.
The Mexico fans are praying for either a flurry of yellow cards.
Alvarez off the outside of the net, played in by Lionel Messi, and I thought it was in.
So Mexico is hoping for another goal for Argentina or another goal for Mexico, or a flurry of yellow cards for Poland, which takes them above Mexico in more yellow cards in the tournament, and Mexico would then go through on the fair play tiebreaker rule. Again, try and work our heads around that. It's absolute chaos right now.
You might see Infantino come out after the game. I am a referee. I am a yellow card. I am.
Yeah. Argentina really, really settling in now that Poland have pushed a little higher, and that space that was not there earlier in the game in behind is really there now, and shocking. Who is it that's just dropping balls into that space? It's Messi, just as we knew it would be. Like now I'm swinging back the other direction. Teams that try to come out and play with Argentina and try to attack them, it's easier for Argentina to create chances against them because they don't have – if you don't have a dominant center forward or a dominant, like true number 10 type player in the international game, especially to create chances, you're going to struggle against teams that sit in and bunker and defend deep. That's why we've seen so many upsets at this tournament so far. And so when they get to the knockout rounds and they play some better teams that fancy themselves to go score goals, unlike Poland here, I don't know, maybe things look a little bit better for Argentina.
Okay, Mexico's got a free kick. We know what happened last time in this situation. Chavez is over it again. Chucky Lozano's over it again, about 30 yards out. Very similar to the one when Chavez stuck it in the top bins from 30 yards out. He's lined up his left foot. You've got the Mexico fans behind the goal just praying he can do it again. And remember, 1 goal for Mexico, 1 goal for Argentina. That puts Mexico in the last 16. Chavez, nearly does it again with the other side. An amazing save.
Sensational.
Wow.
And nearly does it and bends it in the other top corner. And now Saudi Arabia coming flying through, and Ochoa's put not quite enough on his header, but Mexico have cleaned up at the other end. But this is crazy. Get streams up of both of these games. Go to in Spanish, Telemundo and Peacock in the USA. Get those streams up. You can watch it on Fox in the USA in English as well. So get those streams up. Get us up. Here.
What an aesthetically pleasing.
15 minutes to go. An absolutely incredible drama here. We need 1 more goal for Mexico, or one more goal for Argentina, and Mexico are going through. But as it stands, Poland and Mexico are both level on points, goal difference, goals scored, and the only difference is that Poland have fewer yellow cards than Mexico. So that is why they're going to be going into the last 16. Nick Mendola, take it over. I need a breather. I can hardly breathe, man.
Listen, I am wondering. I mean, LOA is 31 years old. Chavez younger, obviously. I'm thinking about Yunus Musa. Who else in this tournament? I know we're about to hit a nervy 15 minutes and really get into the play-by-play, but who else in this tournament has yelled out, "Come by me in January," as we hear rumors of Ronaldo getting $200 million a year to go play in Saudi Arabia, which is the most Ronaldo thing I've ever heard in my life. Who else has made their name in this tournament? Has Frankie de Jong made Barcelona not want to sell him now because he's been pretty darn good?
Enzo Fernandez was probably always destined for a big move away from Benfica, but it might happen a lot sooner now.
Kudus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Okay, Poland going in down the left-hand side. They're cutting it back. Lewandowski's got a man on his right, but he's tackled. Argentina get back, and now Poland have committed people forward. Argentina, they're kind of still going for it, even though they don't really need to, which is great news for Mexico fans out there. As they need, every Mexico fan right now is an Argentinian at heart. They really are. They're urging them on to get another goal. And Mexico, we got both games. Mexico's game is actually a couple of minutes behind Argentina's. They started a little bit later in the second half because of the stoppage time. So we're going to get a scenario here where if it stays like this, then Mexico just has to get one more goal. And that's it. So it's, they're offside now, but this is getting really exciting. So
Argentina wants this third goal really badly. That's why they keep pressing, because we know the 2-goal lead. I know it's so goofy and I don't understand. It's not a scientific thing, but when that first goal goes in, when you have a 2-0 lead, everybody feels just a little yucky, right? You just feel a little uneasy. And I think Argentina is trying to preempt that just and get that third goal. I also think Poland is proven themselves to not be the team we thought they might be at this tournament, and that's another reason they're struggling.
Oh, yeah. This is just crazy. I just seen the headlines going around. Mexico is out of the World Cup right now due to yellow cards. But, that's a yellow card right there, isn't it? So, what are we at now?
One.
Is that
one?
Was that 5?
6 for Mexico, 5 for Poland.
Oh, we are on yellow card watch right now. Can we get the score?
This is amazing.
Hold on.
Edson
Alvarez.
Mexico nearly scored again. Whipped a shot.
Edson Alvarez picked one up in the first half.
Okay, so it's 7-5.
And so it's 7-5 currently.
Oh, please, I need this to not happen for the sport in America, because the media is not going to understand that. Some of my favorite journalists are going to become insufferable.
Yeah.
Oh, Julian, what a shot.
So close. So, guys, I'm sure everyone out there in the comments, thanks so much for watching with us. Let us know where you're watching from again. I'm assuming we got a lot of Mexico fans in the house, a lot of Argentine fans, a lot of Polish fans as well. So let us know where you're watching from. Joe Prince-Wright, Nick Mendola below me here, Andy Edwards. We're in the States, we're in England. We've got all angles covered of this crazy finish. Raul Jimenez is on. Rodriguez is on for Mexico. They're going for it, right, boys? That's all they can do with 15 minutes to go plus stoppage time of the World Cup. Mexico needs one more goal to try and reach the last 16.
What a chance to be a hero forever! Like this is approaching. This is an opportunity for somebody to be Landon Donovan forever.
Exactly. This feels like Raul Jimenez's moment now. All the issues he's gone through.
I would be so happy for him. Yeah.
How happy would we be if he buries a shot at the back post or something? Just give him something, please.
A powerful header, please. It would be very,
Lozano
very poetic.
is in. Lozano's in. Chucky Lozano. Great block. Oh, Jimenez nearly gets on the end of it, right on the penalty spot. And I don't think he was fouled. It was a good tackle, but my word. Nearly a goal there for Mexico. The one goal they need that would send them into the last 16. But they're coming again. Down the right, across into the middle. Oh, Saudi Arabia clear.
Yeah, big credit to Saudi Arabia, though. They're defending. They have nothing to play for now, and they are defending for their lives back there.
8 shots on target. And I
Oh,
mentioned
good cross in. Oh, good block out from the goalkeeper. Good punch out. Oh, another
LOI
save.
has
My word.
seven saves and 3 punches and 4 clearances, and this is one goalkeeper for Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I mean they're not going through at this point, but somebody's got to buy him dinner tonight.
Oh wow, I know. So there is an interesting question that's come up in the in the comments there. What happens if they're the same on cards? What then?
Is it coin flip? Penalties?
I actually think we're looking at this right now, so stick with us. But as of right now, all of the group stage tiebreakers, there isn't any more details on the tiebreakers right now. So we're trying to find that out.
Drawing of lots is number 8.
Oh, gee willikers.
That is just literally putting 2 teams' names into a hat and pulling one out randomly, right? And that's how you go into the last 16.
Please,
who would be the funniest? Who would be the funniest personality from the soccer world that could pull that out? Because I want like Roy Keane to do it.
Has that ever happened in World Cup history?
Surely not.
There was drawing of lots. It wasn't for the World Cup, for something in the last 10 years. I wish I could remember what it is, but it was for soccer.
Yeah, it's just incredible. Yeah, I just can't believe. I cannot believe it's come to this. Take a deep breath in, everyone.
Save us, Leo.
We are 10 minutes away from the end of the game here. Argentina 2, Poland 0, Mexico 2, Saudi Arabia 0. As things stand, Poland are going through to the last 16 on having fewer yellow cards than Mexico. I cannot believe I'm actually saying that sentence.
Oh God. I don't even.
Is this the worst possible? Is that the worst way for soccer in this country to? And you've alluded to it, Nick. But like, people are going to have a field day if it comes to that.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with that. Could you imagine if it affected the United States? Would it kill soccer? Would it kill?
I get to put that in a headline. I might get to put that in a headline here in 15 or 20 minutes. Can you imagine? Like that? That is a crowning moment for anybody.
Oh,
that, like,
Mexico's in again. They've gone down. Free kick right on the edge of the penalty box. And this is right on the edge. I mean, this is millimeters outside from being a penalty kick for for Mexico, sorry. Oh, my word. And I was so excited about yellow cards there. Saudi Arabia got a yellow card. And in my mind, I was like, that's huge. It's a yellow card.
Let me look at the table.
But just outside, Lozano is one more step from being in the penalty box and getting a penalty kick. So the drama here, I mean, Mexico fans, I hope you're doing okay out there, because I can only think what you're going through emotion-wise right now in the comments section. Oh, my word.
The most popular McAllister since Kevin.
This is incredible. This is absolutely crazy. Flea's got another day of suspenseful anxiety in these moments. Yesterday, the last 10 minutes of USA versus Iran had me going crazy. This is just, this is absolutely...
FYI, a red card is worth -4 fair play points. A second yellow card for Krakowiak, potentially -3. So just need one if it's the right player.
Just sub him off if they can. Okay, Mexico, free kick. Just come up to the 82nd minute, right on the edge of the Saudi Arabia. It's cut into fans in the stands, and both stadiums. The Poland fans got his phone out trying to work out. He's got fingers. He's trying to try and get the calculation sorted. Chavez stepping up for Mexico. He's already scored one. Beauty of a free kick. What's he going to do here? 18 yards out, right on the edge of the box. He's stepping up. Little short free kick, and he blasts it against the wall, and Saudi Arabia half clear. But Mexico leave everyone up. Ball's coming out to the right. Rodriguez, poor cross, catches him out. And now Saudi Arabia are on the counter-attack. Surely Mexico aren't going to get done like this. I mean, they have to go for it, right? They can't rely on Argentina. Although Argentina are in the other game. Oh, and they drag a shot wide. This is absolute chaos. Lautaro Martinez. could have been the hero for Mexico, which wow, this is just nuts. He's clean through on goal, Lautaro Martinez, and he just absolutely shanks it wide of the post. And then the Poland fans are just thanking whoever. And the Poland manager is blowing a gasket on the sidelines, telling his team to play it high up the pitch. And this is just, I knew when we get together and do these watch-alongs, lads, it's fun. But my word, this has been next level today.
I keep thinking, what about it's yellow cards that could occur after the whistle from like a big argument? Could you imagine a referee pulling that?
Oh, here comes Mexico again. Here comes Mexico. Raul Jimenez on the edge of the box. They're going down the right. Can they get the cross right? They're going to whip it in. Oh, Saudi Arabia clear again. The final pass for Mexico just hasn't been good enough. But they got it back again, and now they're coming down the right again.
Give us a goal, please, someone.
Mexico's got it. They keep surging. But Saudi Arabia, as you said, Andy, nothing to play for. Oh, Mexico. Oh, Mexico got in, but the referee pulled it back for a foul on a Saudi Arabian player, which it probably was a foul. But come on.
Nick,
no, I was going to say,
Nick, how do you feel about the fact we're rooting for Mexico right now?
I don't know. I'm just wondering. I can't put my Argentina out shooting Poland 23-3 with 13 shots on goal. In my head right now, you're a Poland fan. Are you trying to score, or are you just hoping Mexico doesn't and keep Argentina? I'm so glad this isn't happening to me for any number of reasons. No, Andy, that's a pretty great question.
Wow. We got 5 minutes to go in Saudi Arabia, Mexico. We have
plus 16 hours of stoppage time.
2 minutes and change of Argentina, Poland. So Mexico really, really, really need Argentina to do them a favor here. Even though Argentina is just keeping the ball. And this must be pulling the hair out of Mexico fans because Poland just playing for this 2-0 defeat. This is bonkers. I never thought we'd see something like this. And that tiebreaker post that we have on Pro Soccer Talk and NBCSports.com is very useful. Very, very useful at this time to try and wrap our heads around this. But Mexico going down the right, cutting back inside, trying to get the cross. Another poor cross. So many times, poor crosses from this right-hand side. And they've given it away again. Just lost their composure in this last 10-minute spell here, Mexico. They're trying to get 2 substitutes on. Tata Martino's going absolutely crazy on the sidelines, trying to gesticulate and get messages across to his players. Poland's fans look... There's one guy just holding his chest in the stands. This is a very stressful situation for fans of Poland and Mexico. Fans of Argentina, you're pretty chill right now. You're 2-0 up. You know that you're going to win the group, right? So they're going to be playing, correct me if I'm wrong, Australia in the knockout rounds in the last 16.
I don't understand Poland not trying a little bit harder to win the ball back and score. I would just want, it's the same argument, I guess, as yesterday. I want to know that I did everything in my power to keep it in my hands. I think Joe O made the comment on our comment section, just like yesterday, I wish Poland would try to score. And I don't know, any goal counts.
Yeah. We got Fleazy, we got Zach saying Mexico, Viva Mexico, Mexico, let's go. And I think, this is really crazy. Oh, Mexico are in. Oh, they've done it. Mexico's done it in the 87th minute, but it might. Oh no, it's offside again. Another offside goal. Oh my.
He is definitely offside as well. He's a good full body width offside.
Yeah. Went big with the celebration there. My word.
Wow. This would be, I'm thinking about Iran missing out because they couldn't keep the U.S. off the board and they couldn't score against a Pulisic-less U.S. I'm thinking of Ecuador and their way to go out, and Tunisia as well. Mexico finding a new level of heartbreak if this doesn't go their way.
Oh. 6 minutes of stoppage time in Poland, Argentina. And we got some nice messages. Sergio says, thanks for the comments on the chats. You three are good on your soccer knowledge. We'll take that any day of the week, Sergio. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, and loads of great comments coming in. So, oh my word. Stoppage time, lads. This is flown by this second half with all of this drama, the early goals, the early intrigue, setting things up. Argentina's still coming forward, though, down their left. Mexico, Lozano's coming forward. Cutting in from the left flank. He's going past 3 Saudi Arabia players. On the edge of the box, comes back. A good block by Saudi Arabia again. Nothing to play for, Saudi Arabia. Oh, and the referee, he stops the game. I think it might be for a head injury for the block. The player's gone down after getting a nasty whack. But Mexico players are not happy at all with that. But, wow, it's going to be even more stoppage time.
There's going to be a lot of stoppage time.
90 seconds of regulation to go in Saudi Arabia, Mexico. As Argentina having one more go here, they got 4.5 minutes. Messi's on the ball, 30 yards out, cuts it to the left. Is a cross going to come into the box? No, Argentina just keeping it. Mexico fans, I'm really sorry, they're just keeping it, and they're not really having an effort on goal here. It's going back and back, and Argentina are just playing this one out here, and Poland are very, very happy just
no electric attackers for Poland in this game.
Entire game.
Yeah.
The entire game. They had the one header from Kamil Glick, I think.
Here we go. Argentina.
Here we go.
Cleared off the line.
Cleared off the line.
Wow.
Messi combining, getting in down the left. And a little dink. Yeah. Little dink. I can't see who dinked it over the goalkeeper, Szczesny, but there was a Polish defender there. And Argentina have a corner with 3 minutes or so to go of stoppage time in that game. But there's going to be at least 10, 12 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, say, in the Mexico game stoppage time. What do we think? Let's have a guess. Maybe 8 minutes. If there was 9 in the US game, I think there's going to at least be 9 in this Mexico game.
And there's been a lot of subs as well. There's been a ton of subbing in the second half.
The board's gone up. The board's gone up for stoppage time.
7.
A little bit less than we expected. All right. The equation is simple for Mexico.
Score.
Is anything simple tonight? But Mexico needs to score, or they need Argentina to score in this final 3 minutes. Oh, free kick to Mexico.
Well, we know who's taken.
23 yards out or so, 25 yards out. Another yellow card, but it's to Saudi Arabia, so no difference there. This is absolute chaos, lads. This is
instead of doing lots, the next tiebreaker should be how many yellow cards can you draw against the other teams in your games, because it's so absurd that yellow cards in the first play, your own yellow cards are a tiebreaker. We might as well go with that next.
Or they should just get them. I mean, there's not much distance to travel between these stadiums, so maybe they just have a penalty kick shootout in one of these stadiums between Poland and Mexico. I mean, if you're going to do it any World Cup, it's this one where all the stadiums are right next to each other, but that's just my idea.
Look, I'll tell you what.
Free kick coming up. Go ahead, Nick.
Thinking about the teams that could face the U.S. should they get by the Netherlands, and the idea of I would rather have Poland. Don't want Argentina.
Oh, save. And half cleared by Saudi Arabia. And it's a corner kick to Mexico. 92nd minute nearly approaching. 5 minutes and a bit of stoppage time to go.
Messi versus Australia on one side and the U.S. versus Netherlands on the other is, I don't know. I like
the corner comes in. Flick at the near post. Another corner to Mexico. Messi's got the ball for Argentina. Poland he's on his own halfway line. Poland are sat back. He's won a free kick for Argentina with 90 seconds of stoppage time to go. The corner's coming in from the left from Mexico. From the poor corner to the near post is cut off. They've got the ball back. They're going out to their left flank now. Mexico, Lozano's on the ball. He's taken down, but play on, says the referee. And Saudi Arabia have the ball, but they play it straight out for a throw-in. 4.5 minutes for Mexico to find a goal. Time's nearly up in Poland, Argentina, and Argentina are just knocking the ball around, right? Nick. There's nothing.
Yeah, there's
They're not
nothing
really
going
trying
on.
to score here. So Mexico's got to score in these final 4.5 minutes. They got another free kick. I don't think we have to worry about yellow cards anymore.
Messi missed a penalty, and he's still the third highest rated player from FOTMOB. 7 shot attempts, 5 key passes. And
Messi's missed penalty costing Mexico right now.
Here we go. Mexico are in. Oh, Saudi Arabia clear right on the edge of the 6-yard box. And again, Mexico, the shot way over the bar. Terrible effort.
12 seconds left of scheduled stoppage here for Argentina, Poland.
So Argentina are going through. They're going to play Australia. So it looks like, no disrespect to Australia, but Argentina are probably going to make it through to the quarterfinals. Stranger things have happened, but the game is over.
Yeah, final between Argentina. We got about 3 minutes left between Saudi Arabia and Mexico.
Mexico.
Come on, El Tree. I've never said that in my life. This is literally the first time in my life. Vamos, El Tree. Do it for Memo. Ochoa has allowed goals in this tournament to Messi and a worldie from Enzo Fernandez and may go out of the tournament.
This is just chaos. This is utter chaos from start to finish. Mexico, okay, let's play it. Commentary down the left.
Saudi Arabia has scored.
Oh my!
My goodness gracious!
That's it.
Oh.
Wow! It doesn't mean anything if they get a. I haven't even thought about this scenario if they were to score again.
No, because the goal difference now.
Yeah, superior.
So that's it.
Wow.
They cut away from Poland on the other game. I'd love to see shots on the field of the players out there hearing about that goal right now.
Wow. That is terrible. Terrible way for it to end for Mexico after coming so close so many times to getting that third goal.
Yeah, I don't even...
Mexico now needs 2.
Yeah. Mexico needs to. That stinks. To all my friends rooting for Mexico, my neighbor across the street was born in Mexico, lovely guy, and I've been rooting for them even more because he's a lovely guy. And this is just such an awful way to go out. Awful, awful way to go out.
So they need 2 more goals in the final
minute. Less than a minute.
It's not going to happen.
There'll be a little more because the goal was scored in stoppage.
Oh, my word. That is so harsh on Mexico. They've played so well in this game, played pretty well defensively against Argentina in that first half, played better against Poland, right, in that head-to-head game, even though Ochoa saved the penalty kick on Lewandowski. They deserve to win that game over Poland. But Poland somehow is going to get out of this group. And I don't know. I just don't know how that happened. But they're out unless Mexico scores twice here in the final, 30 seconds. My word.
Yeah, Mexico free kick coming up as Chucky draws a foul. Yellow card to Saudi Arabia. That doesn't even matter.
That was incredible drama.
A simpler time when yellow cards would determine who would go through. We almost lived that.
It's nearly up, but congrats to Argentina. And we're nearly about to say congrats to Poland, although I think kind of through gritted teeth, considering that. Almost anti-football, wasn't it? Holding on. You do what you got to do. You understand the scenario and the situation and hope you get lucky. But my word, it seems like the football gods would have been a bit kinder to Mexico, given their effort.
Would you have rather had Mexico on your side of the bracket with France there than Poland?
No, I think you'd probably rather have Poland. They've shown nothing really at this tournament to concern anybody. So I think for the other teams on that side of the bracket, you're pretty delighted that Mexico aren't going through, especially given how well they've played at this tournament. So, just There's a guy there in the crowds, despondent. He's got a Mexican wrestling mask on. That is the full-time whistle. That is all she wrote.
Lucha Libre.
Mexico win, but they're out, and in pretty devastating fashion. So our Tree fans, feel your pain. That is a huge, huge blow. But you cannot say they didn't give it everything right until the final whistle and won the game, but lost out on getting to the last 16 in agonizing fashion. So
they should really hate Messi now. And Messi's my favorite player of all time, but he also lost to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia could have been playing for absolutely nothing today.
Yeah, but I guess it is a different scenario, right? Because if they would have been 3-0 up, then Mexico wouldn't have been going for it late in the game.
It's true.
But if that penalty would have gone in, they still would have needed one more goal given this scoreline. But it would have changed the whole dynamic for sure. So there are some signs the Polish players are now celebrating on the pitch. Somewhat sheepishly, some of them, but Lewandowski pumping his fists in the air. He's delighted. The Poland fans are going crazy in the stands. Word is filtering through to them that they're through. What a day of drama, gents. Just thanks so much for being here with me to break this down. Thanks, everyone in the comments. It's been a pleasure having you join us for this absolute madness. I'm going to point you to Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com for all the latest news around the World Cup, how to watch information, previews, team news, just all the analysis that the three guys on the screen will give you as we go towards the last 16. Still a lot more crazy group stage finales coming up in the next few days, so we'll have you covered for that. Obviously, last 16 starts this weekend, and then we'll just keep rolling through the knockout rounds. So Andy, Nick, thanks so much for joining me. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Been a pleasure. I need to lie down after that because that was one heck of a finish to Group C. Thanks, guys. Pleasure as always.